Let's talk about social media as Twitter's worldwide ban on political ads goes into effect today. Facebook reportedly now taking a second look at its own policies, criticized for its decision to essentially allow politicians to say whatever they want on the platform. The Wall Street Journal now says Facebook is thinking about increasing the minimum number of users who can be targeted by a political ad from 100 to a few thousand. That could cut down on the practice of micro-targeting or targeting small numbers of users based on very specific criteria. Joining us right now to talk about all of this is Alex Stamos, former chief security officer at Facebook and now cybersecurity analyst for NBC News. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Andrew.
So the real question is, take us inside Mark Zuckerberg's brain. How much of a push, a shift is this going to be for him? And does he really want to do it?
I don't think they want to do it. I mean, the first thing they don't want to do is they don't want to be the arbiters of what is a accurate political ad. Right? Most political ads are misleading in one way or another. And they don't want to be in the place that if somebody, if Trump has an ad that says the U.S. economy has never been better, that Facebook has to decide whether that's true or not.
But when you look at what Google's done.
Right.
Do you think that they're going to be taking positions on that? I don't think that's what we're talking about.
No, I think that's why they're looking at limiting micro-targeting.
Right.
I mean, the truth is the truthfulness problem exists for all political ads, television, newspaper, direct mail.
Right. Why don't you think Mark Zuckerberg, from a philosophical perspective, is willing to at least take on the issue of saying, for the most egregious stuff, I'm going to deal with it?
Yeah, and I think they could. I think they could have a standard that is about claims about your opponent, right? Like, that's the real thing that nobody wants here, is they don't want a political ad to say, my opponent is a criminal.
What are we talking about in terms of cost for them, in terms of human beings that would be required to actually deal with these ads?
Yeah.
Is that, because that's got to be part of the problem here.
It's not. The truth is the volume of ads that run on Facebook is minuscule compared to the volume of organic content. So the company already has tens of thousands of reviewers for the things that people normally post. So ad review is not the problem. What he really doesn't want to do is he doesn't want to break the seal on the idea that the super powerful targeting products are dangerous at all. Okay, he doesn't want any kind of idea that that's not something that
Let me ask you about two break the seal ideas, though. One is, how do you think, or how would you feel, or do you think they'd ever do it, literally just turn off political ads? Meaning right now, on Facebook, you can say, this ad works for me, this ad doesn't, I like this, I don't, and that sort of works into the algorithm. If there was a toggle on, toggle off feature, does that become a slippery slope for Facebook to say that users are then going to say, I just want to turn off all ads, or I want to turn off ads like this?
Right. I mean, I think giving users choice is reasonable. The truth is, when you work on these products, you realize we have this thing called the tyranny of the defaults.
And nobody does it.
The truth is nobody ever changes anything.
If you gave them, to me, the ultimate Band-Aid would be able to say, you can turn this off.
Right, but people aren't talking about their individual choice. What they don't want is they don't want politicians running ads for their own supporters.
And you would turn nothing off.
I wouldn't.
And neither would I. That's the whole...
Okay, separate micro-targeting question.
Yeah.
I understand why you want to limit micro-targeting and why that makes sense in the context of a presidential campaign or something big.
Yeah.
However, if I was running for mayor of a little town somewhere,
South Bend,
reaching 100 people might actually be all I want to reach.
Right, but if they came up with a micro-targeting standard, you could have tiers for different. You could say presidential candidates and House candidates have to do on a congressional district basis, right? And then you could say if you prove that you're a mayor or your local town council, that you lower the limit. They're already going through a verification process for political advertisers. The real trick is then what for issue ads? That's the real problem that Twitter's backed themselves into, is that in 2019, everything's political, right? And so what are they going to do when Nike runs a Colin Kaepernick ad or Exxon runs an ad basically saying that they care about global warming? Is that a political ad? And Twitter has now created a situation where you're motivating these advertisers to really fight them over and over again because you're not limiting their targeting, you're just banning them from the platform totally.
So what do you think is going to happen? How soon do you think this gets all sorted?
If I'm going to make a guess, I think in the next couple of weeks you will see Facebook announce some kind of limit on targeting.
And does that placate people? Or does it, by the way, and does it rile up one side of the base or the other in terms of the political class?
Well, this is the interesting thing. I think people have over-pivoted on the Democratic side pushing against this. I actually think in the end, limiting the power of political ads is going to hurt Donald Trump's challenger. Trump already has 67 million followers on Twitter. He has 24 million followers on Facebook. He doesn't need the ads so much. So he has the ability to hit all those people already.
Right, so all these Democrats who are screaming, this is actually going to hurt Democrats.
Yeah, it's a really dumb move, honestly, by the Democratic candidates. Because the moment we have a Democratic challenger, they're going to need to spend tons of money to make up the enthusiasm gap. And somebody like, say, a Mayor Pete, he doesn't have name recognition. He's going to have to define himself. And so he'll be limited in his ability to use online ads to define himself when Trump can just use his massive organic base to define him for voters. That's going to be a problem.
Tell me this again. So,
because Trump
no, I understand. I'm just wondering whether
followers.
I get it. I'm saying I'm going to have to reevaluate my whole opinion.
You need to take the position
so I got to be you.
Taking.
I got to be you.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I will then. We got to censor all this stuff. It's awful. It's terrible. They're lies, lies, lies. Damn lies, damn lies.
Yeah.
No, we got to switch places.
Right.
Are you ready?
Not really, but not really. Does Google get any high ground for this? Any credit for this? Does Twitter get any credit for this? I mean, or is this a complete? Does it really matter?
I think it matters. I mean, the first thing is this demonstrates why we need legislative move by Congress, right? So the truth is only 3 companies have done anything: Google, Twitter, Facebook, right? Those are the only 3 that have launched ad transparency projects. There are 1,000 other companies in the ad tech ecosystem that have done nothing. So you could run a very vigorous silent campaign, perhaps even foreign money, and just avoid those 3 companies and hit tons and tons of content.
What do you make of this sort of critique? You saw this report yesterday that Mark Zuckerberg and Peter Thiel have dinner at the White House with the president. Yeah. And there is a community of people, including in Silicon Valley, and I imagine within Facebook, according to some of these reports, that are, can't believe what's happening here. Yeah. That makes no sense to me. I think he should be out having dinner. I mean, not out having dinner every night, but what's the problem?
Yeah, you see this in 2 places. You saw it with Zuck. Been announced that he had gone to the White House, and then Tim Cook, standing up there like a prop.
Tim Cook different. Tim Cook different because he effectively was participating in an advertising campaign for Apple. Right. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, not for Apple, but for the president.
Right. But you got to feel like his entire business is based upon being able to import stuff from China.
100%.
Right? Like, he
decided that he was going to make that the gamble here was, I'll be in the ad, and the cost of being in that ad is I will keep the tariffs off.
To me, this demonstrates why you want these companies to have the least power possible in political advertising. The truth is the president of the United States has spectacular power over every company in the United States, right? He controls the entire regulatory state. He can start investigations from the DOJ. You don't want companies to be in a position where a person like this is over. That's why if there's going to be rules, the rules need to be very, very finely targeted, and they need to be very fairly enforced. Because if you end up in a situation where they have lots of discretion, you're going to see people like Trump try to use that discretion to their benefit.
It also, though, suggests that maybe companies, I mean, here we always are saying that companies should come out and deal with political issues, immigration, social issues. Everybody wants to be socially responsible. But then you look at what happens.
Who says that?
We talk about it all the time.
You say that. I know. Don't look at me while you're saying that.
And then you look at the situation.
You know what I care about?
That Tim Cook is in.
What do I care about?
Money, money, money.
No. Shareholder value.
Oh well, that's money, 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 money. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway.